Most people feel stuck, not a little confused, not slightly behind, actually stuck. And what's strange is that almost everyone feels this way at the same time. So if everyone is stuck, then maybe stuck isn't the problem. Most people assume something is wrong with them. They think they're lazy, unmotivated, undisciplined. But if that were true, why does it feel like everyone is struggling with the same thing? That question alone should make you pause, because when a problem is this common, it usually isn't personal. Here's the part nobody really talks about. Modern life is loud. Not physically loud, mentally loud. You wake up already processing information, messages, deadlines, things you should be doing, things you're falling behind on. Before the day even starts, your brain is already busy, and then we wonder why it feels hard to move, why starting feels heavy, why motivation doesn't show up even when you know what you should be doing. We treat that resistance like a flaw, but it isn't. We call it procrastination. We call it lack of discipline. But what's actually happening is overload. Your brain was never designed to hold this many unfinished thoughts at once. So instead of acting, it pauses, not because it's broken, because it's full. And when you don't move, you start blaming yourself. You think, other people seem fine. Why can't I get it together? That's usually the moment where the problem feels personal and heavier than it needs to be. But here's something uncomfortable. Most people you compare yourself to feel exactly the same way. They're just better at hiding it, or worse, better at pretending. We confuse movement with progress. Scrolling feels like doing something. Planning feels productive. Thinking feels like effort. But none of it actually reduces the load. It just keeps the noise going. And when nothing changes, frustration builds, quietly, slowly. And when nothing changes, this gets called laziness. Not because it's accurate, but because it's easy. It's easier to label the person than to question the system. Easier to blame yourself than to admit that the environment might be part of the problem. That label sticks, and once it does, everything feels heavier. Here's the shift that actually matters. Clarity doesn't come from trying harder, it comes from removing pressure, from doing less, not more, from reducing noise instead of demanding motivation. When the noise fades, movement comes back naturally, not forced, not dramatic, just possible again. And that's important because most progress doesn't start with discipline. It starts with relief. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're just reacting normally to an abnormal amount of noise. And once you see that, being stuck stops feeling like a failure. It starts feeling like a signal that something needs to be reduced, not fixed. And that perspective alone changes how you move forward. If this made something click, you'll probably like what's coming next. Stick around. See you next time.